Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing good today. It's been raining in this part of the country for a few days now, most of the week, and it's just not any good to get out and try to do any shooting. So I thought I'd do you a little video here, show you the 3 revolvers that I'm most fond of. Now I do have some more revolvers, but I guess you could say these are my favorites. So let's just start out from this end here. Let me get you a little closer where you can see better. Maybe that'll help. This one right here is the Rossi. It's the model R44 102. It is a 5-shot 44 Magnum revolver. It has the short snub nose barrel, I call them. I think it's what, 2 inches, 2.5, something like that. Maybe 2.25, somewhere in that area. It's a short barrel anyway. It has a fiber optic red sight on the front of it, easy to pick up. You have to sight down that slot right there to see it, but it picks up pretty good. It's a good shooting little gun. I like it. Not the most expensive guns in the world. They're made by Taurus in Brazil, but this one does okay. It had a few issues when I first got it. I bought it used, and which is what I usually do. Most of my guns are second-hand guns. That's just kind of the way I roll. Here's the 44 cartridge. See, I don't know, can you see that pretty good? Hopefully you can. This is on this right-hand side here. We got the well, it'd be to your left, the taller one. That's the 44 Magnum cartridge. It's the same around. It's the same. It's just a little bit taller cartridge and got more powder in it, and a different kind of powder. Usually they're loaded with this Hogston's H110 right here. I do all my reloading, by the way. This one here is a 44 Special cartridge. I think it's used loaded with tight group powder, but they both got the same 240 grain Hornady XTP bullet in it. And when I say bullet, I'm talking about the lead part. Give you a good look at them there, and you can see the difference in the height of them. Pretty good bit there. Hopefully you saw that. Anyway, that's that one there. I haven't shot it much here lately, and usually when I shoot it, I shoot these 44 Special loads in it, because if you put a full power 44 Magnum in there, that thing will kick fire from you. I mean, it'll go all the way back over your head. I don't care how tight you're holding it, man, that thing recoils pretty bad. Anyway, with those 44 Specials, it's just like a pussycat, man. It don't, it just sits there and spits out lead, and you can handle it. It don't hurt your hand. It's just a better deal all the way around. Plus, being a hand loader, I can load those things plus P, you know, extra powder in them, and get them a little bit faster without having that killer recoil to them. And so we do that a lot of times. And just make a light load 44 Magnum, really what you're doing. These two right here are 357 Magnums. This one here is let me put this in before we go any further. These two here are double action revolvers, which means that you can either, these are unloaded, you can either pull the trigger and fire it like that, or you can cock it back and pull the trigger, whichever way you want to go with it. But that's what they call double action. This right here is a single action revolver. You can't do that with it. The trigger don't work. The only way it works is if you pull the hammer back. You have to pull the hammer back to shoot it. That's the way that single action works. Most of you already knew that, but you know, guys, there's always somebody out there that's new to firearms that don't know, you know. And it's best to, you know, break it down and explain it as best you can. Everybody's got to learn. I mean, we're not all born gun experts, you know. And anyway, this is a Smith & Wesson. It's a model 66-1. I think they call that the Combat Magnum. It's a 357 Magnum cartridge is what it is. And it's made by Smith & Wesson. Got a real smooth trigger on it. Double action revolver. I've had this one a long time. It's one of your older ones. It's got your pin barrel right here. This little pin right here where they pin the barrel in. It's got your recessed cylinder, which they don't make them like that anymore. They make them like, nowadays they make them like this with the flat cylinders where they don't have to mill this out. In other words, it's cheaper to make them like this than it is like that. These here were back in the day when they didn't spare any expense, you know. Now they just slap them together. Yeah, this is an older one here. An old vintage. I think it was made in the 70s. Old Smith & Wesson. And this one right here is my latest toy. It's a Ruger new model Blackhawk in 357 Magnum. Like I said, it is a single action. And it is unloaded. No bullets in it. It has an adjustable rear sight and that orange paint that I put on the front sight so I could see it. It is a nice looking old gun. It's an older model too. I think it was made in, I don't know. I was trying to figure out a way to look it up. I never could figure it out. But for those that don't know, this is your 357 38, which they will shoot 30. These are both shoot 38 specials, or they'll shoot 357 Magnums. But this is your 357 Magnum cartridge, the taller one. And then this is your 38 special right here. It's just a little bit shorter, and it has less powder and a different kind of powder. That Magnum requires a little bit hotter powder. Usually that's going to mean for your Magnums you go something like H110. This powder over here is good for Magnums too. IMR 4227 if you can find it. It makes a good Magnum. But there again, in this short barrel gun, the Smith, I usually shoot the 38 specials plus powder. It's just a milder load, and it don't kill you to shoot the 357s. It's heavy enough it don't knock you around too bad with the 357s, but it will start hurting your hand if you're going to do a lot of shooting. If you're going to spend some range time and put a few down range, it lets you know it's there, you know. And whereas that 38, you can just all day long, and It don't even feel it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I just wanted to get one out to you and go over a few things. Hadn't been able to get out and do much shooting. For one thing, it's been raining, like I said. Too wet to get out there and stand in the rain, get the camera wet. That ain't no good. Plus, it's also deer season. And I do some hunting around here, but I got another place where I hunt too that's a little bit better. But I got neighbors that they like to hunt close around the house here. And there's a couple of deer leases out here. I don't know why those deer leases, they got all that leased up land and they want to get right up around somebody's house to do their hunting. I don't understand that. But anyway, the point being, I got people out there trying to kill deer and me getting out there booming away, you know, with whatever. Whereas I guess I'm within my rights to do so on my own property, but it's not being very considerate of people that's paid money for a deer lease, you know, to get out there and run all the deer off with a lot of beating and banging and guns going off. Anyway, after deer season, we'll get out there on the range. Things will be better. Probably be colder than a well digger's rear end by that time, but we'll get out there and do some shooting. Test out some hand loads in the old Black Hawk over here. I've been anxious to do that. And, well, we appreciate you guys watching. And if you hadn't already done so, please like and subscribe. It helps overcome the algorithms on the YouTube. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.